I hear so many people try to use words against themselves. And so I'll say, you can, with this program, eat anything you want. And then they immediately find all these but, all the loopholes, all the ways that they're going to make it work against themselves. And so let me be clear. You can eat anything you want, maybe not whenever you want. And so with that, there are going to be so many different things. And so when you try to use anything against yourself, and I'm going to say against yourself, you're abusing yourself with this permission, right? And so maybe when you were young, you got to stay up later. So then you stayed up later and later and later, and then just made yourself miserable the next day. It was like you took that little bit of freedom and just grew with it. Like, I'm going to overdo it, and then I'm going to actually hurt myself with that new freedom. That's what people are doing with food. I say you can have anything you want. And so then they're like, that means I can have as much as I want. That means I can have it whenever I want. I can have all the things, even stuff that hurts me. Sure, have at it. I'm going to tell you right now, it probably isn't going to make your body feel good, and it's not going to align with your goals. So hear me when I say this. Yes, you can have any food you want. Let's figure out how to do that. We do that first with planning it. And I've talked to you before about how to do that mindfully. Is this something I really like? Is it going to feel good on my taste buds? Am I gut taste buds? Couldn't get that word out right. Am I going to be excited to eat it? Do I like this food? Or is it not something I even enjoy? If you hate Brussels sprouts, I would tell you never put that on your plan. And so planning what you really like gives you that permission to have it. It gives you that I have done this. So you have that empowerment that I have done this for myself. I am taking excellent care of what I want and what I like. You're going to make sure after you've decided what you want, you're going to decide how is that going to feel in my body? And this one's a big one, right? How does it feel in your body? Because I can tell you last night I had ice cream. And I had this whole idea that I was going to have some ice cream and that I just wanted a couple spoons for the flavor. Then I thought I'm going to eat a third of the pint. Then I ate the whole pint, and I can tell you it did not feel good in my body. And so I don't plan quantities. I have an idea of how much my body likes and I can feel good with. And typically a half a cup of ice cream is how I feel good. Anything more than that, and I am usually miserable. We're going to spend the evening in the bathroom, and then for the next at least 24 hours, you're going to have the grumble groans going on in your belly. And I don't like any of that. So if I was planning ice cream, I would have that thought, how does it feel in my body? You have lived long enough. You have tried enough foods that you probably could almost every time with a very small degree of accuracy. Like, you could really nail exactly what you think you're going to feel like with any food and probably with any quantity. If I told you, is a cup of ice cream going to feel good in your body? If I tell you, is a pint going to feel good in your body? Is a quart going to feel good in your body? A gallon or a half gallon? You're going to know what that feels like. You have probably experienced enough times, or you can guess based on other experiences that you've had, how that feels in your body. So definitely you can have ice cream. You can definitely have all your favorite foods. We're going to figure out, are we liking them? Do I want them now? Is it aligning with what I'm trying to do? So like today, my stomach is grumble growl already. I'm surprised you're not hearing it. And so if I tried to have ice cream today, it would add to the problem, right? So I don't even want ice cream. It does not feel good in my body today. Next time when I've settled down and I decide I want ice cream again, I'm going to have this as my memory to remember what it felt like. And then I can decide then. I remember what it felt like then, so what do I want now? And maybe I would not pair it on the same day. I have a little bit of dairy issue. I wouldn't pair it on the same day. Maybe we had Alfredo sauce and ice cream. I wouldn't do that to myself because I know one is kind of at my max. And if I had two, we're just going straight over. So today I'm being a little gentler to myself. I'm not going to plan dairy. Not only that, I'm also going to decide what feels good in my stomach ahead of time. My body needs some nurturing care after what I did yesterday. And I'm not saying that as a guilty thing. I'm saying that as the most loving, compassionate thing. You could have had a stomach bug. You could have had whatever. Maybe you're stressed and I just need something gentle. When you were a kid and maybe your mom brought you either grilled cheese, or maybe you had saltine crackers, or you had chicken noodle soup, or whatever, a hot mug of tea, or whatever it was that she brought you. And it just felt so comforting, right? You know what your stomach feels the most comforted with. You know that if you have been getting hungry, like ravenous all the time, and you know for sure you're stopping at enough, well, maybe your body is actually saying, give me some more fat or some more protein. Or maybe you have intentionally or unintentionally cut out all your carbohydrates and your body just needs a quick hit of energy. Maybe then you go ahead and plan something like that. You listen to your body. So again, you can have any foods you want. We're listening. Do we like it? Does our body feel good in it? What would make our body feel great? How much of it are we estimating? Are we thinking? Because in the moment, we're going to listen to our hunger, our physical hunger cues. And I've talked about that many, many times. If you have not heard me talk about it, this is a great time to remind you to get that free 5-day course. It's a quick start course at coachingkara.com/free course. And it explains specifically what your hunger cues sound like, because you will have your body, and as long as you listen to it, you can do that anywhere, at any restaurant, at any other person's house, regardless of how the food was prepared. You will know how to take care of the amount of food that you have by listening to your body. It's not a diet, it's just taking care of yourself and listening to it. So the other thing is, when we decide what we're having, we're also deciding, should we pair it with something else? Because I told you, I'm not going to have Alfredo on the same day I have ice cream. But maybe if I had like a little bit of ice cream on top of fruit, I wouldn't even want as much ice cream. I just want that little bit of taste. But the fruit will help me with what I really want. It gives me the satisfaction of something sweet. It gives me some nutrients. It feels good in my body. And I have that little, I love some roasted peaches with a little bit of ice cream. Or sometimes I'll take an apple and I'll dice it up and then put a little cinnamon, some pecans, stick it in the oven so it softens, and then put that scoop of ice cream on top. It is amazing. And so, yes, I can have anything I want. The quantity, if you want to do it, it's not going to make your body feel good. It's also not going to help you hit your goal. And so if your goal is to lose weight, stop using it against yourself. You can have anything you want. I'm saying this again and again and again, because as soon as I say that, you're either going to try to find a rule that you can't. I can, but I can only do this. No, you absolutely can overeat too. Do you really want to? Just because you can. Remember as a kid, your mom would take your Halloween candy and you'd get so many pieces, and then the rest would be divvied out, or maybe you only got so many and it just got given away or taken away, thrown away, whatever it was. That's a loving act. It's not a mean thing your mom did. It was an absolute loving act. When you know you can have it anytime you want, great. You're going to eventually stop overeating it, but in the beginning, you're going to eat so much. So what I'm telling you ahead of time, if you can learn from someone else's scar, I'm telling you, my last night felt like I had a scar. My belly hurt so bad. If you can learn from someone else's experience that overeating, even your favorite foods, never feels good in your body, I would love for you to learn it with someone else's experience. If not, I imagine if you're listening to me, you have gotten to the point where you have overeaten your favorite foods too. This is not getting taken away from you. We're not creating some new rule, because you always have permission to have it if you want it. But when you eat whatever it is you love, when you are hungry and you've planned it and you've had some forethought for how your body feels, It's the perfect alignment. Everything feels good. You got exactly what you wanted, and you don't feel miserable. Your body's not suffering. You've learned how to listen to what your body's telling you for hunger, how it feels, even what your body wants. We know what our tongue wants, right? We somehow think that our tongue is in our ears because it has to sound good, and it's not a sound, but like it has to like create some desire in our body. As you are doing this, you're going to realize that it sounds good, it tastes good, all that stuff is good, and it'll still be good next time. So with that, I'm going to leave you for this week. Do not use that you can have anything you like and lose weight against yourself, because you can have it when you're hungry and when you've planned it for your best intention. Alrighty, that's all I have for you this week. Grab that free course that I was talking about if you haven't yet, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.